That'd be awkward. Yo, we're in the shop. It's the end of the day. It's finally raining out. But what we're looking at is this guy behind us. What we have behind me here is a new 461M baler, which the 461M, there's nothing new about that. But this setup here, that's what we're focusing in on today. That is the new weave feature that John Deere came out with for their bale automation. Bale automation's been around for quite some time now. They've had automatic door opening, the auto stop, depending on what transmission you have, and a bunch of other features. But now we're adding in the weave feature so that this thing is more efficient when it comes to actually filling that bale up, instead of having to weave the tractor back and forth to try and fill up either side of the bale here. Instead, you're going to just essentially drive behind it, and that baler is going to follow behind it. Right now, we're trying to go through the pre-delivery piece of it. The guys just went to go get the right tractor for it. They had a different tractor on it. Yeah, they're bringing a big 8R in here because that's all we got. Currently, that's ice ready. Why not? We had a 6 on it, but it wasn't set up because we have to run a new display on this thing in order to actually operate it. So Aaron's bringing in the 8R, which is way overkill for this thing. But in order to pre-deliver it and set it up, that's what we got to do. That's not gonna work.
That's all you got.
I'll be fine. Like I said, it's not ideal, but at least we can make sure that things are working correctly.
You show that to my man Cheeto in the comments?
Save, yeah. Cheeto wants to know. That's Cheeto.
Hey, Aaron, where are you?
If you don't know that reference, then you better look up some Key and Peele tonight, because that's where it's at. This is what a normal round baler looks like in operation on a John Deere display. What's going to be new and different here is we've got our baler down here, which is going to be part of that weave function, and then we've got some weave stuff down here, some statuses, that sort of thing. We got to calibrate this thing first. It's not going to happen tonight. Everyone's gone for the evening. We got the wrong tractor on it to hook it up, so I got to get a 6R moved down here so that we can finish this pre-delivery. But because this thing has automation features on it, it's got a couple other goodies too. Like, it's got bale weighing on it, instant moisture. So this one will actually be able to document bales when they come out of the field. So not only are we going to be able to weave this thing and kind of drive the baler halfway automatically behind this tractor, it's also going to weigh the bales, give them an ID, and then when you're done with the field, it'll give you a coverage map of tonnage, and then how many pounds of feed that you baled up into the baler, and then how many bales are out there, and just give you all those numbers. Part of the pre-delivery process is verifying that everything's going to work correctly, which will be part of my job, and Aaron, who is delivering this, pre-delivering this, excuse me, we'll have to go through this and make sure it's working when we get the right tractor down here. So why would a customer want this? What is the benefit of it? Well, name of the game, if you talk to John Deere, we should probably shut the key off. Hold that thought. Name of the game is making these things more efficient. While we can't lock onto a windrow, we can't auto steer on a windrow yet, we can still drive over the top of it. So being able to automatically steer this behind to make a good filled bale is going to be one of the ways we can make this thing more efficient, because it's one less thing to worry about. It takes some of the operator error out of it when we got the sensors that are already in the left side, the right side, and the center that are telling us how the driver needs to weave. Well, now we're just going to automate that with a cylinder down here so that we can steer that and take that piece out of it. Less fatigue on the operator, more efficient building of bales, because if you've never been around a round baler, you've got left side, center, and right side. Well, if you drive with all of your feed coming in the left side and in the center all the time, you're going to get this cone-shaped bale that's going to be oddly shaped. Well, if it's oddly shaped, it's not going to shed water if it's sitting outside. It's going to be hard to stack and store because of that as well. So we want to have a nice uniform bale and just be able to get the most amount of feed into a bale as possible. So even if you're not using the weave automation, you want to make sure that we're filling this thing completely full with sensors that were already previously on the bale, so that we have that nice full cylindrical shape. Otherwise it causes a lot of headaches for everyone else, and no one wants to buy odd shaped hay. Everyone wants a perfect bale when they're making it. Everyone wants to buy a perfect bale, regardless if John Deere, New Holland, Vermeer is making it. But this technology should help take, again, some of that human error out of the equation, and just make this thing operate correctly. that is weave in a nutshell. That is the automation feature that's coming out on the round balers, and we'll see if it's something that people are interested in. Maybe it's something that exists and doesn't take. Hard to say till we get it out to the rest of the world and see what their thoughts are on it. We're back. It's a week later, and we finally got a 6R 165 transferred down here, where this is the one that we're going to marry with that baler. Now, part of the autonomy feature, the reason we had to get this transferred down was really back here, this stack. We had to have electronic SCVs in order to do this. Can't do it with the manual levers because this is what's going to help control our weave feature. Had to have an ISO compatible tractor, which means that we're going to have a Gen 4 or a Gen 5 screen in there as well. We had a whole bunch of other tractors down here, none of which fit those bills. We had this one moved down so we could actually get this thing to work.
As they're still folded in.
So in theory, with it hooked up, once it links in, all we have to do is calibrate it and just check functionality, but we should be able to do one thing real quick. Ooh, it moves, it is alive! Okay. Look at all that red. You know why? We already calibrated all of it. Real quick, because this is a new baler, we got to go through and calibrate all the functions on it. So that's kind of what Trevor and I are going to work through right now. We've got, if I go into baler settings, I should be able to see calibrations. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different calibrations to do for just the baler. And then, as far as my automation stuff goes, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another 6 calibrations to do there. So we're going to be playing here for a few minutes, so we'll get back to you. Okay, let's go calibrate that then.
Settle down over there. I'm going to come talk to you.
Alright, right now we've got the SCV turned on in auto mode, so the electronic SCV is going to take it over. We're going to start rolling. Now I'm going to push the start button, manually move the steering actuator, then select set center. That's center. Manually moves to the left. Make sure I don't hit a vehicle, that'd be awkward. Bang! It's finding its dead bands right now, so where is it going to completely max out when it shouldn't, when it needs to stop moving essentially. Set a bang, bang, bangity bang, 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 bangity bang. And we are completed.
Seems very aggressive. Like,
it's pretty rowdy.
For how wide it is.
How fast it swings?
I mean, well, not that, but where your rows are. So because essentially you're driving straight over your rows.
Yep.
And for how wide it goes out, I mean, how many windrows are actually?
Well,
you know what I mean? Because considering how wide the actual your feeder house is.
Let's say it's that wide. baler should be walking back and forth here. Yeah, it's going to be a little aggressive, but there should be some settings in here on the weave automation where we can change our windrow width to tell it how wide that windrow is, so it's not slapping all over the place. And we can change our response rate and how fast it's going to weave. So for the most part, we should be able to kind of tone that down, but for the calibration, it's going to be a little rowdy. And we have it set on 10 for a flow. I don't know that it's supposed to be on 10. That's one thing we have to look into. Since we have a weaving error yet, we got to figure out though. Woo, hang on! Alright, a little bit of an update here. We were able to get some stuff calibrated today, but we are still running into some kind of minor issues with some calibration, so we need to go back through and adjust some of the sensors here per part of the pre-delivery. We're running out of time to get that done today, so we're going to circle the wagons back around tomorrow and see if we can't get this wrapped up. It's the next day, and we're back in Arcadia a little bit later in the day actually. Had to go take care of some other customers first this morning, but Nick actually found the problem. He came up here this morning and started working on the trouble codes that we were having. It wasn't actually the baler that was causing the problems, it was the tractor that we married it to. It had a bad plug on it, wasn't getting correct voltage. So he's got it all fixed up here, and we're gonna take it back out and finish our calibrations now. Now all this was red and had error codes, was real mad yesterday, and now I don't see none of that being red, so that's, we'll take that and run with it. Even if I go up here, yeah, it's ready to go. I'm going to verify operation at this point and then probably load it with some net wrap.
Aaron was saying that the gate seemed like it was coming down hard and whatnot, so I didn't deal anything with that. It was just all the communication.
Yeah, and that's the fine tuning we got to figure out next. Okay, appreciate it, Nick.
Okay,
thank you.
Not a problem, bud.
Let's go. What did they have to do? It was the tractor isobus plug. It's just a bad plug. Everything, like, there's not even an ounce of red on this thing though.
Gonna have to recalibrate though?
I'm not sure. That's what we're gonna
do.
We're gonna pull it in out back and we're gonna go look. We're gonna point some stuff out here on some settings. So we're turning on the weave automation right now. You can see we can enable it here, but then it asks how wide does it want your windrow width. So you can tell it if it's completely as wide as the pickup head, or if you have a really narrow windrow. That's just something we're gonna have to play with and understand a little bit. But once you tell it how wide it is and hit start, as soon as we start rolling, that baler should start adjusting behind us based off of what it's sensing on the sensors. It's not gonna do much today because obviously we don't have anything to bale, but when we take it out to the field, that's something we have to pay attention to. We finally got automation going. Trevor for the win. We had to put on a automation activation into the display, but now that we did that, all of our automations are blue, so we got things rocking and rolling. They are operating. You'll notice on the right hand side, the right hand bar is blue right now, and if you look back at our baler, it is compensating right now, saying that the right side is lower, and that's what it's going to try and fill first. And you can see how far off on an angle we are in that centerpiece from where that bar is at. Again, we're driving around on private property in our lot, so don't take this down because I'm doing multitasking. So green status means that we're ready, so now I should be able to hit my auto steer resume. It's going to take me back up to speed, and then I can hit my start weaving. So there it goes. It's kicking off to the side to try and keep me filling, which with me taking a corner, that's why it's doing this weird rocking. Should settle in here. There we go. So if I don't like what it's doing, I got that center exit button. Oops.
Way to go, Rex!
So now if we hit the center exit button, it just centers that guy right back up so we can continue baling and doing what we have to do. I don't have to realign it every time. So all we got to do now is find some grass.
Well, there's grass, but
no, we need to,
right there. We can.
Yeah, let's go down in the pond and bale. That'll.
We'll cut grass right there. We can pick her up.
I mean, we could. but we have to load the net wrap yet too.
Yeah, we do.
So that's the next step. We gotta load net wrap, get some def in the tank, because that's also not happy. And then we should be good to go. We're putting edge net wrap on. Okay, pre-delivery is done. I guess technically we have to set the gauge wheels yet, but that's pretty minor. When we get that on the ground, we're going to set that. We're going to load this thing with net wrap, get some def back in the tank. Weed feature is good to go, so we're ready to take that out on demo. Automation is set up on this 6R. 6R is pre-delivered. Codes are out of the 6R. Am I missing anything, Trevor?
No.
That's pretty much all we got for today until we get this thing out in the field. That's a wrap. Thank you for watching. We will see you on the next one.